Anyway, you guys, thanks. Give it up for yourself. Give it up for our 103rd episode. And tonight, I'm just really, really enthused and looking forward to the conversation. My special guest, for those of you who are joining us, this is In Search of Awesome. We've been doing the deal for 103. This is 103rd. And we just continue to go out and hunt and look around and get people like Britta Larson and Dana and Randy Kunkel and Luke Allen continue to refer when they're out coaching in the salons and they see people killing it. They're going, look, Michael, you got to talk to one of these people. And tonight, the person, actually, Britta introduced him to me, Alex Pardo. Give it up for Mr. Alex, will you? Because he is really... I've been doing these now for many moons, and 395 referrals is what Alex brought in last year in a 365-day period of time. Doing that with Instagramizing everything, I figured he's really he's got whatever he's going to say to us. I think it's in our best interest to keep it cooking, keep it going. So before I bring him on, I just want to tell you a little bit about him and why I think he's the bomb. In 2016, cracked the infamous six-figure barrier. 2017 went up another 50,000. Trending probably to do 165 this year. Works 4 days, about 32 hours a week. He is a Summit Salon owner in addition to being a hairdresser. I'm going to have him back and just interview him just on the owner part. But tonight I really wanted to have him speak as a hairdresser. 4 AA, 24 years old. So, I mean, hey, that's like big time. Average ticket 160. Haircut price 77, as I said. Referrals at 395, rebook 45, RTS 70%. He's just crushing it again across the board. His history, he's going to tell us a little bit about his story, but he graduates from high school in 11, goes to hair school in 2012. First year his first job in the salon, 30 grand. Second year goes to 50. He's going to tell you a little bit. He took a little bit of a sabbatical, went to Miami, came back, worked 30 in 15 on a W-2, and then something extraordinary happened to him in 2016 with his OMG. He's going to tell you about that. And in 2017, he decides he's going to open his salon, and we're going to have him back to talk about that, but not tonight. What else can I tell you about him before we bring him on? I've been hanging around with a lot of Instagrammers in the last couple of years, and I think this guy is really, really on his game. iPhone 8 Plus, just this side of 10,000 followers. 90% of his guests are following him. 26 guests a week, give or take. 20 plus photo shoots. 30 pics per shoot, 6 poses. He'll tell you about that. And the biggie is that well over half of his guests repost his work, either his pictures or take selfies. And so in essence, he's triple winning all the time. He's on the salon page, he's on his page, his guests are posting. I think that's why this guy is making boom on steroids. So without any further ado, I'm going to see if the Wi-Fi guides are working for us. All right, good. So we're in the game. Sometimes Wi-Fi is nice and sometimes it's not. I qualified you before I brought you on. I was telling our viewers about a little bit about your ride. You're doing a phenomenal job on Instagram. You're off the charts on referrals. You're well into 6 figures. So we got that all handled. And I was telling him a little bit about your social media. But before we get into that, I really, as I always do, it's so important that our viewers have an appreciation of your ride, your story. And of course, you and I were chatting about this, the first question on my mind and everyone's mind is, like, what was your life like before deciding to be a hairdresser, and what inspired you to pursue hair school rather than college?
I just always knew that a desk job was never for me. And I feel like I knew that college just wasn't really for me. And I've always been really interested in art, and I liked math and I liked science, but I was just not smart enough to handle college. Well, I wouldn't say like smart enough. I just like it didn't interest me enough to go to college for anything like that. So I knew I wanted to pursue something in art, and I was constantly coloring my hair when I was in high school. I was famous for changing my hair, and it was a fascinating process to me. So I just decided that I was going to do hair school like second semester of my senior year of high school. I decided I was going to go to cosmetology school.
So you went right when you graduated from high school, you on ramp to hair school right away.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah,
you and I didn't chat anything about this, but I'm always curious. Did your parents have any aspirations that you would do college, or were they cool with your decision to do hair school?
I think that at the time they really wanted me to do like a 4-year education through through a university, but I think once they realized that that was just not going to happen, I think they definitely came around to hair school. But my parents definitely did have like a little bit of worry about it because they were under the impression that hairdressers just didn't make any money, so they wanted to make sure I was able to eat. So they wanted me to do the 4-year school so I could get a quote unquote good job so that I would like be able to live.
You were just graduating from school. You were in the first salon and had your first year, and it sounds like you were growing. And then, for whatever reasons, you decide that you're going to take a sabbatical and go down to Miami. Talk a little bit about that.
I've actually never had an assisting experience or an associate experience. So I felt like I wanted to be the best that I possibly could be. I never wanted to be in that mindset of like, oh, I'm really good from Michigan. I just wanted to be like really good in general. So I decided I was like, if I'm going to do it, I'm going to be the best of the best. So I moved down to Miami just to like take a step back and really try and learn as much as I possibly could about hair color. And then I was down there for almost a year.
And that was like a gigantic step back for you financially. So it was really an investment in your education.
Yes, and it was definitely worth it. I learned a lot about what I wanted to do with my career, and I learned a lot about what I didn't want to do with my career. So it was 100% worth it, but it was a huge blow financially, of course.
So what motivated you to come back? To come back home to Michigan. What turned down there to have you come back?
So there wasn't like a big event that happened other than the salon that I was working for previous to my Miami endeavor actually hired me to come back and be department head of education for their Midwest locations. So I just took bigger, better deal, and I moved back up to Michigan, and I was there for a year before I opened my salon.
So you come back for a year, you started growing a little bit, and then you had this ginormous awakening that you were telling me about the other day on the phone. Talk, because that was the what happened, what happened to Alex part. What was that?
The biggest thing that happened in that year was I decided to use my Instagram for more business. And that happened because I actually got nominated for an award from Behind the Chair that I had completely forgot that I had entered. Because at the time I was using my Instagram for a lot of personal photos and connecting with friends. And I wasn't really using it as a business feature. And as soon as I got nominated for that award from Behind the Chair, they flew me out to New Orleans, and I was there for the show, and I got tickets for the 3-day educational event. And I really dawned on me that just because even though I was a small account at the time, like it's a worldwide web. Anyone can see your post, and to me, it was like a click in my head. It was like an aha moment that I could absolutely use that for my business and to grow my business. And so that was my like aha moment in that year. Because it was awesome just to put into perspective. I was like, I felt like I didn't have that many followers on Instagram, and I felt like I was just uploading content kind of willy-nilly, and then all of a sudden this huge account found me, and I had this amazing experience, and then that really kind of like triggered that.
Oh yeah, I mean if we track the income stuff, the step back that you were the year before, you were like at 30-40 grand. After that OMG, you like crack 100 grand. So like you like tripled your income because you said, I call it monetize Instagram. I want to use it with much greater intentionality. And when people go to your page, they'll see, whether we're looking at your salon page or your page, the work there is nothing short of extraordinary.
Thank you.
Now that you're there, people are curious because I think you said to me in your story that there was a time in your life where $30,000 was a lot of money, and now you're way beyond that. So like, what's your life like now that you're six figures?
I feel like sometimes it's a little crazy to think about it because I don't feel like I never grew up wanting anything, but we never grew up like buying crazy expensive trips and vacations and crazy nice shoes and all these things. And I feel like it's great because if I want to go to Paris for 2 weeks, I can, and I really don't have to think about it. It's great to be able to like go to shopping. I love shopping. It's like my biggest vice ever. So I can go shopping and I really don't have to look at the price tag of things. Money's not, I feel like it's something that I don't really worry about anymore. And trust me, it's like a lot, obviously it's a lot of work, but there's a huge reward that comes with that. So it's nice to be able to like walk into Neiman Marcus and buy something and know I'm not going to like go into crazy debt if I want to wear something cool.
Oh yeah, and then you were telling me that all of a sudden dreams are coming true. This dream car, you bought the car of your dream, and now you're driving it.
Yeah, I got to buy my little white Mercedes that I love so dearly, and I get to. I live in a house to myself. I get to have a huge built-in closet. I really feel like I'm living my best life. And I feel like it really just came down to me like switching my business mentality.
And you're 24.
Yeah. Yeah.
So this is just extraordinary. So I think the other question, two more questions I want to ask, and I want to talk some social media with you. What's the future hold for you? Like what do you see yourself doing and going in the next year or so?
I would love to. There is potential for me to grow behind the chair. I still have gaps in my book that I can obviously fill, and that's something that I'd really like to do by 2019. Is I'd like to be booked out for 6 to 8 weeks in advance with no gaps in my book. And I'd love to open another location for my salon. We're growing at such a fast rate that we're almost maxed out at this point after a year. So I would love to open another location. I'd love to, it's bigger, better deal. Yeah. So I just got to figure out like where that's going. But I'm working on a product line. We're doing lots of fun stuff. So I'm excited for that.
Yeah, and now you're Summit, you're part of the community. And you didn't hear me qualifying you, but I said tonight, I really wanted to have you speak as a hairdresser, but I haven't even asked you this. I would love to have you back and really talk from a salon owner, salon manager leadership perspective, because I believe I'm going to be interviewing one of your people, Christina, which is 20 years old, trending to do 100 grand this year. So I have a funny feeling you got a whole Instagram culture going on in your salon.
Yes, all of our stylists are on Instagram. Our salon Instagram is really popular in the Detroit area. So we have people that call the salon and say, hey, we found you guys on Instagram. I don't care who I see because everyone's work looks amazing. We're so on top, and every guest gets a photo shoot with their service. So that way, like it becomes part of the culture in the salon, a social media culture salon. it's fabulous for business. It's
Well,
fabulous.
you took us there, so I want to stay there, and I'll follow up on the last question before we say goodnight. But talk more about this model where you're saying our salon's Instagram page has become, it's almost like your online calling card / lookbook on steroids, and you've now built an entire brand just on your page, on the salon's page. And then when I look at your page as a hairdresser, as well as Christina's page, that work is showing up on the salon's page as well.
Yes.
And then the other thing you said is the overwhelming majority of the people that you're serving and doing photo shoots on, that same content shows up on their page, and we're calling that now triple win.
Yeah, which has been super, super amazing because it brings you, it's 3 opportunities for guests to see your work. So even on my own Instagram, I can put up a picture, and I follow all of my guests on Instagram and they follow me back. And so when I'm taking these pictures for my guests to put on my page, they'll send me a message, hey, can you send me those photos? I want to see them. Or they look so awesome, I love my hair. I can send them those photos. They post it on their Instagram. And then the salon posts that work on our salon Instagram as well. So it's a real like trifecta.
Well,
so we have 3 times the amount of people that can see one photo than if I just put it up on my page.
Yeah, you're like right now, you're talking in tongues. I'm getting goosebumps because what I heard you say really is a couple of things. One, your guests have an opportunity, or I should say the world has an opportunity to see the work 3 times. Your page, the salon's page, the guest page. And the other thing you said, you just kind of did a quick drive-by of it, but it's key. You're following your guests on their page, and your guests are following you. So you're following each other, and I just got to believe that the combination of all of that is a synergy that's just got like an atomic power in it.
Right, and it's almost become a novelty at this point for my guests. What I like to follow my guests on Instagram, not only because it connects us further, but it helps me remember them when they come in for their appointment. So if I have guest A and her name is Kayla and she's coming in for my 8 a.m. appointment, I follow Kayla on Instagram. So when she comes in, I remember that she was on a vacation. So I will ask her about her vacation, and she feels super special and she feels like I remember her, and it's little things like that. And I make sure to take the time to tag my guests in my Instagram posts because they feel like, oh my gosh, my hairdresser loved my hair so much that he put her on his page and he tagged me, and they're so much more likely to repost that work on their page if you tag them.
I mean, it's almost like you're as 24 coming into the game, you're like through watching and following your guest. They come in and all of a sudden you're checking in with them about something that they posted, whether it's a vacation or whatever. And you know, in the good old days, a couple of years ago, we used to handle all that crap on client cards.
I work with 2 associates, and I used to have my associates, I would go mix up color at the color bar, and I would mention to them really, really quick, like, hey, she just told me she was pregnant, make sure to write that down. Or, hey, she just told me that she just got engaged, or she's getting married on this date, like, write that down. So I feel like it's great because I really don't have to do that anymore because I actually have an actual connection with my guests.
I love it. By the way, man, you got clients watching tonight saying, hey, Alex, I love my hair. It looks like your mother's on, Cindy. She's going, yeah, that's my son, man. You're awesome. So.
Oh, my gosh. Hi, Cindy.
Yeah. And the other is Annie Starler says, I love my hair and I love Alex. So you're the bomb, man.
Hi, Annie. Annie's one of my business partners.
Oh, so we're gonna. Promise me that you and her will come and do an interview where we can talk to you as salon owners and managers and leaders, because that's a whole different conversation, right?
Yes, Annie, Tess, and I will definitely come back and do this with you.
All right, wonderful. Now, before we say goodnight, I want you to, your last word, when I asked you, hey, what's the last word, man, for somebody that's just on the front end of starting and you're in a place and they want to be like you, and your answer was so cool that I want to make sure that the viewers, hear it. Do you remember what you told me about when I said, what's your last word?
I do, and it's advice that I wish someone had told me when I was just getting on the floor or I was a new associate. If you want to make six figures, you need to be an associate for somebody that makes six figures. We're not reinventing the wheel here. We just need to be in that same mindset and surround yourself with other go-getter hairdressers that are in that six-figure club. So if you want to be making six figures, be an associate for somebody that makes six figures.
I love it. Yeah, it's almost like we become like those we associate with. So you're taking the associate idea, the program, and going, yeah, if you really want to be where I'm standing, be a student of that person, and sooner or later you get there, and later always comes sooner than you think, man.
And like Christina, who you mentioned earlier, she was my associate for a year, and she's been on the floor for a year and a half, and she's already trending at 100K. So if you want it, you have access to it. Just take advantage of it.
Yeah, no. Listen, this has been an extraordinary interview. And while the Wi-Fi bugs were all over us, we got through it, and the conversation, and whether you can see me or not, it doesn't matter. The world sees you, sees me, sees us talking to each other, and they're like giving it up for you big time. So on behalf of the world, I want to thank you for hanging out with us tonight and for sharing your wisdom. It was just an extraordinary conversation. And promise me you'll come back with your partner to talk about the leadership side.
We pinky swear.
All right.
We pinky swear we'll be back.
All right, and make sure you make sure that Christina comes, because she's 20, man, and I want the world to meet her and hear her story too.
She's amazing. I will pinky promise that we'll all be back.
All right, my friend. Thanks a lot. I'm going to let you go, and then I'm going to summarize and show some of the viewers the PowerPoints that we created, because they're extraordinary.
Awesome. Thank you so much for having me, Michael. Appreciate it.
All right. Thank you, my friend. Stay well.
Thanks, you too.
I've done many interviews before, and as I study Alex, I just learned a lot. I mean, I learned a lot from interviewing everyone, but there was some real inspiration that I got from chatting with him, and I wanted to just show you his kind of blueprint, if you will. We've come to call it the social digital triple win. It's when a stylist posts, and this is his work, a before and after. That same guest posted on her page, and then it found its way on the salon's page as well. So he said that people are seeing that work in 3 different places on Instagram, and that now he's following his guests, and his guests are following him. That relationship stays active in between visits. So I think this is the next step, the triple win. He's also a caption king. That his personality is, he would call it's sarcastic, but he's just a lighthearted, he's a good soul. And when you get on his Instagram page and really see some of his captions, I've come to call him the caption king, because they tie into the work that he's posting. And then last but not least, he didn't chat about this tonight, but now he's using Instagram. He calls it surgical strike marketing. So now he wants to begin attracting a $350 guest or a $350 ticket. And so he's working a lot with extensions. And what he said is, like, he's got that blueprinted now where he can do that service inside of an hour. And for $350, and now he's posting for that on Instagram. So he continues to discover new and innovative ways of using Instagram to blow up his business and blow up his income and brand his salon. And if I can, next week I want Christina on. She's 20, and she's going to earn $100,000 this year working in his salon. She, once upon a time, was his associate. So once again, almost on a monthly basis, we have another genre of hairdressers that are finding bigger, better ways of using social media, and it's getting them to a much, much higher place that hairdressers never got before in their entire career, and it's getting them there at Mach 5, at the speed of light. So what a real cool conversation that we had with him tonight, and I want you to give it up for him. Well, listen, we're way out of time, and even though the Wi-Fi gods were not kind to us, we got through it. If you're new to the conversation, hang out with us on. It's called Michael Cole Summit. Is my handle on both Instagram as well as Facebook, and it's where the video blogging happens. And then, of course, on Instagram, I blog, motivational cards and captions, as well as use the story feature. If you're a salon owner, hang out. We now have a social media virtual coaching team, and we just finished a social media boot camp. Luke Hufstetter is the team leader. Him and I work together. He's going to do another one of those for Summit Salon owners. So he's calling it the Social Digital Summit, all virtual, and he wants to take us on that ride as well. And he's got a great team of people that will go back with you through online and coach your people online to close the gap between where they're at and where we feel they need to be to really have exciting times in the coming years. The other thing I just want to mention before saying goodnight is all of these videos, all of these Facebook Lives are recorded, they're edited down, they're stored on YouTube. If you go to summitsalon.com/Michael Cole Live, you will be able to see them all curated, or just get on YouTube and put Michael Cole Summit, and it'll bring you to many of these. As you hang out on summitsalon.com, make darn sure that you go to the product store and look at, especially the planner. We are now using the planner for knowing what to post to fill openings in the day. So that planner has really come a long way. There's a brand new page on the website as well, mobile calculators, and you just scroll down when you're on the home page. It'll take you to a whole array of calculators. We've got the Magic Day Calc, the Magic Day Express, the Social Media Calc, the W-2 Annual Goal Calc, and it breaks all the goals down into a day goal so that you can begin planning your day to hit the goal through filling up your windows of time with social media. It's extraordinary. And then, the other thing I want to mention is just you can now download Summit's tracking app. All this stuff is for free, you guys. So you're going to want to get on that. And when you're on summitsalon.com, it'll take you to where you can download it either on the App Store or Google Play if you use Droid. And these are the tracking now is perfectly paired to the level chart, and it is all the information is stored in the cloud, so you can't crash and lose your data. And again, it's free. So in closing, it was a great night. I want to thank our sponsor L'Oreal, PPD. I want to thank Salon Centric, State, RDA. These are the people, as well as Summit Salon Business Center. Through their support, we can continue to evolve with online training. We think that this is where it's at. It's going to continue to go. You were here tonight. It was a great ride. So I'm going to say goodnight and hang out with you guys when I see you in next week.